Good morning, everyone. My topic is urban transportation in smart cities. The journeys from a vegetative state of vehicles to the concept of Internet of Vehicles. Uh, in this entire paragraph, we would be describing upon how the changes have been made with the passage of time from the scenario of traffic jams, where the traffic jams are considered to be one of the major problems in urban areas, especially during the peak times, and then how the concept of using these vehicles as vehicle ad hoc networks came into being, and then with the recent advancements in time it has been incorporated with the flu and is termed as Internet of Vehicles. So, just to give you a brief introduction about the visionary aspect of my research, we would be first describing upon the different traffic related issues, and then the concept of origin that has been originated from the vehicles to transfer them as vehicle ad hoc networks, the applications of the vehicle ad hoc networks, the characteristics, and the extinction from the vehicles to the concept of intelligent transportation systems, and then later on the concept of Internet of Vehicles and Internet of Things added along with the applications of Internet of Vehicles, Internet of Things, and the most important aspect that has advanced up with the vehicle ad hoc networks, that is RSU, often known as roadside units. And again, we will discuss what are the future aspects of our development phase and future scope towards it. Traffic related issues occur only for the basic reason when the people are not knowledgeable enough to drive the vehicles, and this type of an approach often leads to traffic jams or chaos at majority of times, and there are a number of reasons that they happen. However, we would not emphasize on the reasons, but we would segment it. What are the basic problems that are being faced by the people when they are stuck in traffic jams? Unwanted delays, future fuel consumptions, increase in the level of pollutions, increase in the level of noise. Often road rage happens when the people are stuck in traffic jams, and whenever they find a little bit of space to move over. Parking problems, especially at entertainment based areas, and at times they can also result in accidents and blockage of traffic of interfaces while passing of emergency vehicles. However, taking in consideration the traffic related issues, there may be an urgent need of handling this problem with a very pragmatic manner and incorporating of different measures of urban transportation system, or I may mention them as intelligent transportation systems. Urban transportation systems, what are they and what are the characteristics? Travelers aim for value, the traveler's consideration for benefits, travelers' consideration on account of costs, the systematic approach towards driving for and having a complete knowledge about the rules and regulations for driving, less threat to environment and human life, and less chances of congestion while the vehicle is in transit. What has been the basic concept of the vehicles? Why there has been a need to transform them into vehicle ad hoc networks? At times there had been a lot of traffic snarls and a lot of traffic jams whenever the things used to transfer up from one place to another. So with the passage of time, the researchers have come up with the idea that since the vehicles are on roads, and to use them as a medium of information, so they transformed into a specific formation of these vehicles by installing some of the necessary chips and sensor based environments which would communicate and tell what is the current location or what is the current scenario at a particular place. And with the passage of time, these vehicles came to be known as vehicle ad hoc networks, or we can also state them as VANETs. Well, when we describe VANETs in a very similar term, we can state that these are the spontaneous creations of vehicular networks that are used for data exchange from the domain of vehicles, although the focus remains on spontaneous networking only. And these vehicles are able to communicate with the roadside units. These are the signals or handlings that are used for communication of information, and they can either store the information or again they can pass this information to the next level of incoming or intercepting which vehicles are coming towards monsoon. What are the various applications? The various applications are the safety oriented applications, the commercial applications, convenience based applications, or the productive applications. When we say of safety oriented applications, we state that we are referring to the real time traffic, the cooperative message of transferring, the post crash notification, road hazard notification, cooperative collision warning, and traffic vigilance to look upon. When we state on the commercial oriented, we state that we are referring to the remote based vehicles personalization, their ability to offer more of what they are made of, the digital map displaying the real time relay of problems, and the value added applications or advertisements that helps us in maintaining a commercial route. The convenience based applications refer to the route or diversions, electronic fall of collections, the parking availability, and the active prediction of what the traffic scenarios can be at times. And the productive based applications refer to the environment benefits, the time utilization, and the fuel based necessities in which all we save. The characteristics of VANETs can be summarized in the following parts: high mobility of nodes, the rapidly changing of network topology, unbound network size, potential support of the infrastructure, and real-time sensitive data exchange with crucial effect of security and privacy. Then the extension of the concept of urban transportation systems. The very next step of the VANETs is to incorporate the internet of vehicles between them by providing them with more capabilities by which they can make their own decisions and act upon a particular act in which the driver is not able to make the decision, so the vehicle will be able to make the decisions and behave according to the needs and the requirements of the situation or as per the moods of the driver. What and the applications of internet of vehicles, the most important applications can be referred as the traffic monitoring aiming to low high health based results, the security of vehicles and its drivers, the transportation system, and the logistics of applications, and daily needs and domestics of life. uh, since with the passage of time we have come up with the ideas of smart applications that would help us in creating a visualized aspect of tomorrow, we can also incorporate the following accommodations into the internet of things, by which we can refer them as the smart cities environment, the smart environment, the smart metering, security and emergency services, retail applications, and industrial control. And since the passage of this videography, we had been talking about the roadside units. The roadside units are the roadside located envelopes which offer the connectivity support to the passing by vehicles. RSU are same as of wireless LAN, which are a kind of access points which helps them the connectivity with the different vehicles which are trying to connect to them, or especially when the areas are sparse where the RSUs are most needed, so that one can predict upon what are the most particular problems within a given scenario of an area. Here the vehicles are able to communicate with the roadside units, which is able to pass on the vital information on regard of what are the current problems that are being faced by the current situation. How a roadside unit actually works: it actually initiates itself by gathering the information from the vehicle, and once the information is gathered, the roadside unit is able to process it up, and it takes necessary decisions whether these particular information that has been given by the vehicular network is of somewhat of relevance, and in case if they are of a higher property, they are cleared upon to the alarm for the driver that is coming next to the en route, otherwise they are abolished and the next set of information is being gathered up. There has been a lot of research work that has been done with the passage of time, but everybody says that there is still a scope of improvement at times, so I'll not get into the technicalities of what the researchers have done, because I appreciate that everyone has done to the best of his ability. However, I would also like to add up the future scope inclusion that I have taken up during my research study upon VANETs, and I would propose the following information that would help up in advancement from the current scenario to a higher level by proposing a topology that would implicate the current system and to motivate and introduce an intrusion detection system of nodes by which a network would be really be able to take immediate action upon all the problematic nodes that travel onto the network, and it would not be human dependent. The roadside units would only be able to identify them. My second suggestion towards this would be suggesting of scope of improvement of revival of packets when the threads are overruled, and to verify the authenticity of coming of information and disposing of information. By this particular terminology, I would specify that there are at times when the error within a network comes, and however during that error time there is some sort of the transformation of packets from one side to another side. So within that transformation time, that there is no error between the received packets, and in case once the error has been resolved up, then the distribution of packets may not be hampered or may not be contaminated with the current set of evaluations that have hampered the roadside units. Sequencing the follow-up of initiated VANETs by not identifying at the initial phase the specific reasons to find out why is there a lapse while identifying the problems that are related to the molecular data on VANETs. An introduction of security and usability based applications that would make the life of a common person very easy while installing an interface within the vehicle itself, or to develop applications while accessing them when the vehicle is on move. That's all. Thank you.